Now, to have a wife, you must allow me to enlighten you first. The Raku needs children, and my seed is the only seed that matters.
Everyone is running to Ruth in a rage. In case you missed it, what's good, everybody? It's your girl Tika Deshawn. Thank you all so much for tapping into All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. The highest made his public announcement that the men that have been enlightened will be allowed to marry. Now, all of these women seem to run to Ruth and let her know, I don't want to be married. These men are misogynists. Why are we in the midst of this mess? We don't want to be married. And so Ruth lets one of the women know by the name of Melena or Helena that it's what the highest says. If the highest says for us to get married, then you will get married. You just have to know how to treat the men or how to deal with the men or how to become more of a woman. Helena lets Ruth know these men are disgusting. They treat us very, very badly. So, again, Ruth lets her know, hey girl, do what you have to do, obey what the highest says, and you'll be fine. So then, as I said, everybody is running to Ruth. They're blaming Ruth about the highest decision. So in walks your girl Joan, and she is upset. She lets Ruth know, hey, this is all your fault. I do not want to marry. It's your fault. I know it's your fault. The highest is always going to River and telling him how much he likes being with you. He is very descriptive as to how he is with you, and it's not fair. I do not want to be married. So again, you guys, everyone is literally running to Ruth in anguish as if this is the worst thing that could possibly happen on the Rakadushi compound. So then we get our girl Zane, and she runs into Ruth hysterical, in a panic, stressed out, as if it is the end of the world. And she lets Ruth know that she is not going to marry Manny. She does not want to go and marry Manny. Ruth politely reminds her, after slapping her and giving her a pill and reminding her to calm down, she says that Manny can't marry. Manny has not been enlightened. So there's no way that you will be able, or Manny will even be able to marry you. Now, Zane and Manny have this crazy conversation as Zane is running from the punishment trailer. She happens to see her worst enemy by the name of Manny, you guys. With that being said, he tells Zane, he keeps telling her, you see, it's as if he's telling her to look down at his man part, and she's like, move, move. And he keeps telling her, you see, don't you? You see what you did? And she's like, you want me to kick you again? You want me to, kick you again? And so he backs up and it's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure the pain that she inflicted on him that one time was more than enough. And then to kick him as well, it definitely humbled him. So then she says, as after he says, I'm sorry, she says, no, you're not. He says the Raku has definitely taught him a lesson, and she says, well, you shouldn't have done what you did. And he says, I know, but I'm going to make it up to you. And tells her that the highest is going to allow men to marry, and I'm going to ask the highest to marry you. And she says, no, just make it up to make it up, just leave me alone. But Manny is insistent. Zane, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to marry you. And Zane is like, you're crazy. I'm not. And so he reminds her the highest said that the men can marry who they want, and I'm going to ask him for you. So Zane runs to Ruth, like I said, in a whole panic attack. She's literally in panic mode, and she tells Ruth, and Ruth, as I said, has to kind of slap her to snap her back into reality. But Zane is not with it. Zane does not want to marry Manny in no shape, form, or fashion. But again, Ruth reminds her, hey, Zane, don't worry, calm down. Manny can't even marry anyone simply because he has not been enlightened. So this rule is only for the men who have been enlightened. Now, the question, you guys, that I have for you all, and I would like for you to drop your comments in the comments below. Who, if anybody, will be paired up? Who do you think out of everyone on the Rakatushi compound will be paired up? I took a little bit of a poll in my Facebook group, Tyler Perry's Ruthless fans, all things Ruthless, and I asked them, if there were people getting married, who would be paired up? And I received comments such as Zane would River would probably marry Zane to protect her from Manny. And I thought, and that came from Laura. And that was absolutely a good response. That was absolutely a good response. And a lot of people are thinking that if anybody has to marry, it would be Zane and River. And then another comment came and it said that the highest wouldn't allow anyone to marry Daikon because he's too jealous. So, you guys, that last episode, episode 5, was crazy. It had everyone running to Ruth, begging or letting her know that all of this was her fault. Now that the highest likes women, now we have to be subjected to being married. This is not our fault. This is not what we want because the men are just ridiculous. They are misogynist and abusive and just don't deserve to be married. But at the end of the day, you guys, it's all about what the highest wants. Again, with that being said, drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. If there is to be a wedding, who's going to marry who? There are so many women on the Rakadushi compound, but who is going to marry who? Again, the thoughts were that Zane and River would get married to protect Zane from Manny. All right, you guys, just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, okay? All right, y'all. With that being said, it's your girl Tika Deshawn. Thank you guys so much for tapping into All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. Make sure if you're new to my channel, first of all, finding me for your very first time, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell for reminders of brand new Ruthless content, okay? All right, you guys, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for tapping into All Things Ruthless. I would love it if you guys could check out my Ruthless theme song, Stay Ruthless. It's going to be provided above. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. And you already know, stay ruthless.